Good morning everyone, welcome back to TV Health, and in today's topic we have stem cells and role in neuroscience. Today we have with us Dr. Deepak Agrawal, Professor in Neurosurgery at 𝐂𝐴MS, Delhi. Good morning sir. What exactly is stem cells and how is it different from other cells in our bodies?
Stem cells are a special kind of cells which are called as progenitor cells, which can differentiate into any cell of the body. For example, they can become eye tissue, brain tissue, lung tissue, kidney tissue, any tissue upon maturation, and that is why there is so much interest in them.
So can you explain some concept of stem cells and their relevance in the field of neuroscience?
Yes, for example, we have blood flowing in our veins. This blood actually comes from the bone marrow where it is produced. And when the blood is produced, initially we have stem cells which then differentiate into different kinds of blood cells. For example, some stem cells may differentiate into red blood cells, some may differentiate into white blood cells, some may differentiate into other kinds of cells known as platelets. So this differentiation into various kinds of cells is a process which occurs in bone marrow for blood. Similarly, for other tissues also this process occurs, but in adults it is limited because most of the tissues have already matured.
So can stem cells be really used to treat neurological disorders like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's and spinal cord injuries?
Yes, that is the holy grail which scientists across the world have been trying for the last few years and with limited success. And especially in neurosciences, it holds a huge promise because in case we can repair the damaged tissue, for example, brain tissue cannot be repaired or replaced as of now. So whatever cells die or stop functioning, they can never be replaced. Therefore, the stem cell, if we can get to convert into brain tissue and integrate to that specific function, that would be a Herculean feat, I would say, in medical science.
So how does it typically take for the stem cells treatments to show the results in patients?
So first I will explain the procedure. We harvest the stem cell. This stem cell can be from the patient's own body or it could be from somewhere else like a embryo of a human, and we then culture these stem cells or process them in such a way that we have adequate number present, which we then put inside the body through various mechanisms. It could be through a lumbar puncture, in which we put a small needle in the spinal canal and inject these cells, or it could be directly into the brain, or it could be through the artery or the vein where we just inject like you give an injection. When we do all this, the stem cell, we assume, will go and home into the diseased tissue or organ. So this is first assumption, that the stem cell will go there. Once they go there, they will multiply and become the mature organ in which they have resided and take over the function of the damaged tissue. So based on this hypothesis, all trials are going on. Why this will happen is, we assume, again this is an assumption, that the damaged tissue or the tissue which is not functioning releases some kind of inflammatory mediators. Anything die releases something. So this has been proven, and when they release this attracts the stem cells towards them. So based on this hypothesis, all studies, so many hundreds and thousands of studies have been done, and the typical time, coming back to your question, the typical time it takes for the stem cell to start working varies from a few months to maybe a year also, depending how long the integration takes place.
Sir, are there any risk or potential side effects related to this stem cell therapies?
Yes, there are potential side effects and risks. One is that it is still not, I would say, proven in the majority of the disease. Very limited, let's say for the eye, corneal revascularization thing, some limited results are there. But for any other disease, stem cell has not really shown to be efficacious as of today. Maybe in future we have newer therapies, but as of today it is not shown. So there is a lot of wrong promotion going about it, and people are flocking because for the person who has no therapy, this appears as a miracle therapy for them. So the biggest risk is that it will not work, and you should be prepared for that. The second risk is these stem cells, because they can convert into any cell, they might also convert into tumor cells. So if you can imagine what will happen in that scenario, there's always a theoretical risk of any malignancy or tumor developing wherever you implanted stem cells. The third is the risk with giving anything foreign. Anything, infection can happen, any kind of disease can happen if you're giving it from some other individual. So all these risks are common to giving any foreign substance inside the body, with additional risk of tumor or malignancy formation.
Okay, so sir, stem cells treatment can completely cure neurological conditions, or it is just for symptom management?
See, as of today, there have been no positive reports that stem cell can cure anything. So we are still in the research domain. A lot of research is going on, and we are, I would say, positive about the fact that some results may come which may help us to further the science and improve disease management. But as of today, there is no cure available just by giving stem cells.
What are the current challenges and limitations in utilizing stem cells?
See, if I talk about neurosurgery and specifically brain injury and spinal cord injury, these are the two domains I have personally worked on in stem cells, and we have harvested stem cells, processed them and given them in a large number of patients under various research studies. So we have not given them just without any research study or ethics permission. So the biggest challenge for anybody is that stem cells can only be given within a research domain. Ethics clearance is required, institutional clearance is required. There are so many regulatory clearances required before you do a stem cell trial. And the reason behind it is that whatever we do and whatever we give, at least we know whether it's really working or not. Otherwise, in the market, I would say there is so much reports which are unsubstantiated that they are working stem cell, but when you do a proper trial, you find there is no use.
So are there any ethical concerns surrounding the use of stem cells?
Yes, many ethical concerns. I can start from that. There is so many unethical uses of stem cells happening across the world, and they are duping, I would say, innocent patients and their relatives of their hard-earned money by giving stem cell, which may not help at all for these patients. Also, giving wrong information or giving stem cells in a doses which may not be warranted is completely unethical and is going on. And we have institutions like ICMR which have proposed a roadmap and said that stem cells should be used only in research setting. Also, there are other ethical issues involved, like you're taking stem cell from embryos and doing genetic manipulation or something, which is like playing God in certain cases, and we don't know the consequences of this. So a lot of countries have actually stopped embryonal research except for China, and there could be massive problems down the line if it is not regulated.
So are stem cell treatments for neurological disorders accessible and affordable for average person?
Yes, if you are enrolled in a clinical trial, then it's free obviously for the person. And outside, if you are inside the grey market and you're being offered stem cell, I would say then it is extremely expensive and the results are not there. So you should be aware of the consequences, and obviously meet a good, I would say, neuroscientist or a neurosurgeon in a publicly funded hospital, so that you can get unbiased opinion whether it is really indicated in your case or not.
So that was it for the video. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.